we're gonna just pick up where we left off. Sheamus at 33. This is the trade from the Browns.
Yep, it's the trade that the Browns used to get Shador. And if the Bengals actually did this and it worked out this way, dude, they would be set for life because we're gonna have them getting Walter Nolan right here. Um, I think it's a dude that they could easily pick at 17 as it is, and if they got him here, I think like that dude's a steal in the second round. I feel like the range that he could go is so big, but this is kind of like the early second round feels like kind of the floor, like where he'll go. But I really like him. I think that'd be great for the Bengals.
I agree. And if you saw Nicky Minori to the Eagles, that did not happen. We just had to refill our mock here. So um, I'm gonna go Donovan Jackson here to the. See Seamus, I got away with it again. Kind of a Gray Zabel type of guy, and there's Nicky Minori again. That has the versatility to play in on the interior and at tackle. Um, I like him over Gray Zabel because I know that he kind of stepped in for Josh Simmons just off the rip and did a great job, in my opinion, on holding up that end of the line. So
Yeah, that's a good one right there. Then we got the Titans at 35. Um, we got them kind of getting their Harold Landry replacement and James Pierce Jr. That's another dude that I feel like just has a high ceiling. They say that there's character concerns and whatnot, but I don't. I feel like you never really know like whether that's going to be a real issue or not. So it's another guy that could definitely go in the first, but uh, I could see slipping to the second right here, and Titans get a good edge right there.
yeah, I think that these first three picks are second round steals. I know it's borderline first round, but I think they're locks. Those are. I think you're getting great value here early on in round two.
100%.
Um, to expand on that, I'm gonna go Maxwell Harrison. The first thing that people think of, I think now after the combine, is his 40, 4.28 40.
Yeah.
That really, uh, raised his draft stock, and I think he's a lot of people have him as a first rounder. So I like that. I think he did a great job at Kentucky, and the Jags need the help. So
Yeah, it's we're doing a thing where there's a couple corners right here. I think the Raiders see Maxwell go off the board, and they go get Benjamin Morrison out of Notre Dame. I'm a Notre Dame guy. I've always really liked this dude. I think if he didn't get hurt, there's definitely a chance he could be like a lock first rounder. He was like a lock like top 10 guy early on like in the year, but obviously the season happens and stuff happens. But I think Ben Morrison would be a good fit to the Raiders because their cornerback room is pretty weak.
yeah, and I think Pete Carroll would love to get more help there at corner, and I think he'd be a good guy to step in. Um, the next guy I'm going to go is kind of, I feel like he starts like the next tier of tackles. I will say I feel like Josh Connerly is kind of in that tier as well, but Ariante Ursary, I'm probably butchering his name. I'm going to read off some stats, man. I mean, he's got long arms. Um, 33 inches, uh, 25 reps on bench. He's 6'6", 331, and he was the Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year. I think this is the guy to block for Drake May, and you're able to get this guy in the second round. I think that's like a dream come true for the Pats. But
Yeah, they definitely need like a tackle to step in there and block for Drake May. I really like that one right there. Um, so this is the Bears right here, and this would also, I think, be kind of a dream pick for the Bears. We got him going Amari and Hampton, and I mean, there's a lot of people that have him going in the first round. But if it doesn't go like that and he slips right here, like the Bears are they would be very happy getting Will Campbell and Amari and Hampton, like if it fell how it does here. And dude, I just think the Bears, like, I think them getting a running back either first or second round is a high likelihood. It seems like so. I think this would be a great pick.
Yeah, and Omari and Hampton here, and Will Campbell in the first. Like this is Ben Johnson's dream come true. A lot of
Yeah,
dreams coming true here early on in the second. I think the offense, and they're about to turn around and get another pick. But before that, I think the next steal of the second round is Kenneth Grant. When I watched his tape, I felt like he was a big guy, but he was moving so fast.
yeah,
Um, I think in a scheme, it's kind of undetermined what role he could play. I think he could play anything he wanted to. He's got a lot of finesse, in my opinion, at his size. Um, I think they get another guy with 33-inch arms, 22 reps at bench on 225. I like that guy a lot. I think we're kind of creeping out of the steals uh, of the second round, but that's a
yeah.
good
I agree.
yeah.
And I will say, as a Bills fan, if it did fall like this, I would want the Bills to take Kenneth Grant at 30, 100%, because I like that dude. I think he's going to be a dog in the league 100%. Um, yeah, kind of what you said about the steals not really happening as much. I think that would fall under this category because we got the Bears again, and we got them getting Omar Norman a lot. Um, I read up on him a little bit. He's a D tackle from Tennessee, and it basically just said that he's kind of an undersized D tackle. He's like 6'2", like 290 or something like that, but he just has like a absolute motor, and apparently he's good in the run game. But I mean, if you're getting picked in the second round, I think because there's a good chance that he does. I mean, he's definitely got a chance to contribute, and it makes sense because Ben Johnson comes over from the Lions, and you know how they like to build from the trenches with Will Campbell in the first, and then going D tackle here.
Yeah, I like that a lot. He provides more versatility, and they need depth in Chicago. So I think that's a good pick. The Bears have had a great draft so far.
Yeah, if it
Um,
went like this, yeah,
here's a guy. Here's a guy. Kevin Winston Jr. 6'2", 32.5-inch arms as a safety. Can contest balls up in the air at perfect timing. Great in tackling, and he's great at knowing when it's play action and when he needs to go put his face in the gap. I think that's a really good tier two safety. I know we've got Starks and even Worry up there, but he's creeping in
yeah,
right behind him.
yeah. You got to love a safety who likes to stick his nose in the gap and be a torpedo. That's the
Yeah,
best kind of safety, I think. Um,
yeah.
at least the most fun to watch. All right, the Niners 43. I'm gonna go Tyleek Williams, the D tackle out of Ohio State, and this dude is just a clogger. Like he's gonna clog the trenches for you. Like dude, he's massive. He's like I think he's like 6'6", like 340 or something. And
Yeah,
so they're just gonna get a clogger right there. The Niners need to have a good draft to stay relevant, like in the NFC picture for the next couple years. So I think they go Tyleek.
I agree, and I know the Cowboys are kind of in the same situation. They need to get Cowboy fans back in, man. I think they're losing.
Facts.
They're losing us, man. And I know they could probably get any running back right here that could kind of light a fire under us. But I think Travion Henderson is a great versatile back for the Cowboys. And I don't know, man. I just see him in Dallas. I know, like I feel like another Ohio State guy like Zeke.
Yeah.
I like this pick a lot.
Hey, you know, Jerry was watching whenever he was in Jerry World,
Yeah,
and he saw Travion, him or Quinshawn. I feel like he's gonna go after one of them.
yeah. He said, Steven, let's get one of these guys in here, man. We gotta get one of these guys running the ball in here.
Yeah, he's not ripping any tape. He's just watching one game. He's like, dude, we need that guy.
Yeah.
We got the Colts. We got him going Chavone Revel out of East Carolina. This is another dude that I would consider these last two picks. I would definitely consider them steals. Because I think Travion's I think he's going to be good in the league. And then Revel had a lot of like first round hype, especially earlier in the year, and then he just got hurt. So the Colts if they did this, they got him and Chavarius, they definitely like beefed up their outside corners.
Yep. And Kenny Moore in the slot and
Yeah,
Bynum, they're starting to lock it up.
yeah.
Uh,
And
and
then this is where we got our one and only trade of the mock,
in the
of the second
second.
round, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's the Dolphins jumping the Cardinals. So it's really just a couple pick switch. Um, and we have the Dolphins jumping up and taking Tyler Booker out of Bama. And that's another, like, I would be shocked if the Dolphins didn't take an O lineman in the first two picks because their O line is it does not look good. I said it in the first round mock, but they have a lot of holes. But they definitely need something. I know Dylan's mentioned to me that like they have so many quick passes, but I also think they need to get their running game going again.
Yeah, I think they can get any big guy on the line as far as passing the ball. But you're right, when they run the ball, they need a guy like Tyler Booker. And I think he did go on a visit to Miami, and that could be for their 13th pick. And they may trade Ramsey and get a pick and make this happen sooner than 46. But I think that the Dolphins will address the O line. I think getting Tyler Booker and Eamon Worry in the same draft would be a good draft. And I know they're going to do something with
Yeah,
Ramsey, but
yeah. After hearing that Ramsey one, it makes you think that they could definitely go cornerback in the first or right here too.
yeah,
I think secondary and O line, it's probably their first two picks. I don't know what order though.
I agree. Cardinals at 47. Who you have them going, Seamus?
Oh, let me lock in. We got Nick Scorton right here, and um, it's another A&M edge rusher. He was great at Purdue, and then came in and he was solid at A&M. Um, we saw that the Cards visited with him a couple times, and they definitely need edge rushers. Um, I think he'd fit a big need for him.
Yeah, and who was it? Darius Robinson, first
Yeah,
rounder last year. Dude, I loved that guy's tape at
yeah,
Mizzou. I think, and I know he was hurt a lot last year, but if you throw a healthy Darius Robinson in with Jihad Campbell, Nick Scorton, Baron Brown, all those guys just start getting some chemistry going, the Cards might be flying around, man.
yeah. They definitely started looking like a actual good defense.
Um, for this for this move for the Falcons, they trade back. They don't. I doubt. I mean, the Cardinals could go Landon Jackson as well, but everyone saw the tape of Landon Jackson coming out of high school hitting the bags. It was laughable. But you see him at the combine doing it, and you see what coaching and what practice and training can do. He's got great length, and you've seen his production from high school to college. And like, pull up that video if you haven't seen it. Him doing the rushing drills at the combine. They'll do a direct comparison of him doing it in high school, and he looks like me and Seamus doing it. But I think that's a good pick for the Falcons. They need more edge work, and it'll be good for them.
Hey, speak for yourself. I was cold at that. Uh, 49, we got the Bengals, and we're gonna have them going. Um, Jonah Savaiinea. Yeah, that you already know. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna be able to pronounce that, but
we're trying.
uh,
Hey, we're trying, man.
yeah, it's a he's a tackle out of Arizona, but um, I don't know. I think he has a lot of versatility. Like I've heard that there's a good chance that he's going to be a guard in the league, and it kind of seems like a lot of these tackles, at least in this class, are kind of like that. But he just seems like a solid O lineman, and they need that for Joe Burrow. Their interior O line's lacking a little bit. So I think this would fill another big hole for him. And then like I think if you're the Bengals, you'd be super happy with this right here because like in the trade back, they definitely got a couple more picks. So I think they're just kind of rebuilding the team with a lot of guys that they lost the past couple of years.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think he's got versatility on the O line as well. Um, for the Seahawks, as PFF says, they need a center. I'm going the best center in the draft, Jared Wilson. I know that the Seahawks GM does not believe in picking interior offensive line early on, but it's no longer early. And Jared Wilson is sitting here, and he's ready to become a Seahawk.
Yeah, I like that. Um, we got your favorite team, the Broncos here. This would be a great pick for him. We got him going Quinshawn Judkins. Um, he's honestly one of my favorite players in the draft overall. I think he's really good, and I could see him being. I mean, depending on the team, like if he goes to the Broncos, I could see him being maybe the most productive running back in this draft class, just because of like the surrounding pieces and having Sean Taylor, not Sean Taylor, my bad, but Sean Payton. Um,
RP.
I'm thinking about hard hitting safety still, bro. But yeah, I think Quinshawn is just. I think he's a dog, 100%. And if he fell this low, any team would be happy to have him.
Yeah, and he's seeking contact, man. I feel like we don't see that a lot anymore from
Yeah,
running backs. They're not smiling at contact these days, but he is. Um, right back to Seattle though. I have them passing up Noah Fant and starting uh, ripping the next tier of tight ends. Mason Taylor out of LSU. I think like we were talking about for AR having a tight end close, and now the Broncos with Evan Ingram. I think having Mason Taylor close by for Sam Darnold, who isn't in a super safe offensive scheme as far as like Kubiak. I mean, Kubiak will run the ball, but I think when in doubt, you need a tight end close by and a good guy, and I think Mason Taylor can do that for Sam Darnold.
yeah, I like that one right there. Um, and then we have the Bucks at 53 going Demetrius Knight out of South Carolina. And to some people, based on kind of what I've read and seen, they see him as like the second best kind of off the ball linebacker in the draft. I kind of like what I've heard about and the little I've seen about Carson. He's coming up here in a little bit, but Schlesinger,
Yeah,
he's a dog too. But this dude, the Bucks met with him a couple times, and Levante's getting old. They need someone kind of next to him. Devin White's not there anymore. He hasn't been there in a minute. So go get that next guy up at linebacker.
yeah, I like that. And didn't Levante David get hurt at the end of the year? I don't know if they said if that was a serious injury or not.
Um, I don't remember.
Man, I saw that injury live, and uh, it did not look good.
Shout out Levante, Nebraska legend.
I'm gonna do a little research because I want to see if knee and ankle injury in the wild card loss to the Commanders, seen hopping off the field. So I don't see anything on that being super serious, but he's an older guy, and I think either way he's at the end of his years, and getting Demetrius Knight would be a good pick for them.
Yeah,
Um, moving on to the Packers to pair. I'm spelling them wrong. Darius Alexander from Toledo. I think to pair him with Kenny Clark and get that defense going, clogging up front. The Packers were pretty good against the run this last year. Um, I think him and Kenny Clark could lock it down right there in the front.
yeah, that's a good one right there. We got the Chargers at 55. Speaking of linebackers, we got Carson Schweschinger. I was talking about him a little bit just a second ago, but yeah, this dude. I was watching Mel Kiper talk about this dude, and dude, he needed to take him out to dinner first or something. Like he was glazing them really hard, but I mean it's for good reason. He's a like really good player, and I don't know if he's as good as like what Mel Kiper was saying, but I think he's going to be good, and I think it's a good fit for Jim Harbaugh because you know if Jim Harbaugh is picking a player, like they're probably going to be especially a linebacker, they're going to be a dog.
Yeah, I like that. I think him and Demetrius Knight are right there behind Jahad Campbell. Um, I think you just got to fall in love with the guy to decide on which of the two you want.
Yeah,
Um, I'm going with your Bills here on the opposite side of Greg Rousseau. Across the whole league, this guy went on multiple visits, met with a lot. I think a lot of people like him, and I'm probably going to screw his name up. Oluwafemi Oladejo can play off
everybody.
ball and on the ball. Um, has a great chop and spin move. NFL combine scouts say that it will translate, but they say that he is stiff and has a weak plan of attack. So he started off ball, and then now he's on the ball, which I think the Bills like having that versatility. I know with Milano getting injured, they were just. I mean, you know better than me, but
Yeah,
I think that would be a good guy for the scheme. A little bit of versatility. PFF saying edge and linebacker. Well, guess what? You just got both, and you got Trey
yeah,
Amos in the first. So I know you're not a fan of that, but you just got all three of your team needs in two picks.
yeah,
But
yeah. The past couple years too, I feel like there's always games where like we're having like AJ Klein or Balin Spector starting at linebacker just because like off the ball because there's been injuries and stuff. So I like that just to get the versatility right there. Um, we got the Panthers here, and I had them going Pt.2 out of Ohio State. Um, I just think they need an edge rusher. I think JT is like he's an experienced dude. He's been going against good competition and been seen in the bright lights a lot. And it just seems like a guy that I think would fit on the Panthers. Something that just really makes sense because they kind of just need their defense was horrible last year, so they just need help overall on the defense.
yeah, I like that. On to the Texans. Could be any running back. I think at this point in the draft, you like you have a preference. I don't know. Caleb Johnson is who I'm going with. I know they have Joe Mixon. He's getting older. He kept getting these little nagging injuries last year. I think for me personally, Caleb Johnson. I mean, early on in the offseason this year, he was everyone's RB2, and then Amari and Hampton just kind of came in. But I feel like he didn't get touched until he was 5 yards downfield. And for me, like grading running backs, I want to see like broken tackles or a stiff arm or like elusiveness or quickness. But he's just like a balanced guy that I think for an outside zone scheme like the Texans are pounding it between the tackles, he can do both. And being a run first team, I think the Texans could have a committee go or even let Caleb Johnson just flat out take over.
Yeah, I like that. I think Caleb could definitely be good. Uh,
I will say before because I just peeked over here, Seamus. He's 6'1", 225, 4'5", 40. I don't like those high fives in the 40s, but I think at
yeah,
that point you may look to Ollie Gordon, maybe bias,
yeah. I
but
think yeah, I think there's I like him. You definitely kind of expect him to just be a pounder in the league with those like numbers and that size right there. But I think it'd be good to learn behind Mixon. Um, right here we have the Ravens, and they're going to go Shamar Turner, the other Shamar from A&M on the D line. He's a D tackle. Um, you know, I think the Ravens could go the strategy that we have them going this mock of going in the trenches. You know, that's the team that always likes to have the trenches locked down and everything. And I think Shamar Turner could be a solid player for him. You know, if he's going, you know, to the Ravens, there's a good shot that he could end up just being a breakout player in like 3 years from now. So I like that pick for him.
yeah, the Ravens always find a way to turn a guy into a dog. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
100%.
Speaking of dogs, Jack Sawyer to the Lions feels like the perfect fit, man. I get like JJ Watt vibes from him, man. Like just like the vibes. I'm not saying he's JJ Watt at all, but I just get the vibes. And he seems like the new culture Lions
Yeah.
type of guy.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool to have a Ohio State and Michigan DN duo in
Yeah, just
Detroit. Little
racing to the
rivals,
quarterback.
you know, they push each other to become even better. All right, we
Yeah,
got the Commanders here, and we got a little back to back wide receiver run right here. We're gonna go Trey Harris out of Ole Miss, and yeah, this is a. I like this dude. There's a couple good receivers on the board right now, but so it's kind of just like preference, if you will. But the what's it called? The Commanders are definitely still in the you know range and vicinity for a receiver, even though they got Debo. Because Debo, I don't know how much you could trust him. I think they kind of look at him, if I had to guess, as more of like a 1 to 2 year option rather than a long term kind of
yeah,
option for
100%.
him.
Yeah, he may even move to tight end if he keeps eating Big Macs.
Yeah, bro. I saw, bro. Apparently, he's like, I don't really know how like the ranking system in 2K works, but apparently he got to like a legend in 2K on his my career, and there's only like he's like in the top 1,000.
Oh my goodness,
Like,
dude.
bro, you know how much you got to play the game to get that.
Yeah, that's concerning.
Yeah, that dude might be fused to his fucking chair, bro.
Yeah. Uh, honestly, it's crazy though because the Commanders they brought in Trey Harris and Restrepo on a visit, and I think,
Yeah,
like
when we
you
talk
said,
about high
Rutgers,
40s, that dude should not have ran the 40, bro. I don't know why
Restrepo,
Restrepo did that. He ran like a
yeah,
4.8.
yeah, but it's like he's letting everybody know this is what you're getting, man. So I kind of respect it, but I'm also like, dude, you're hurting your
Nah,
pockets.
I wouldn't have
Yeah,
done that if I
you're
was
hurting
him.
your pockets, bro.
Yeah,
But um, to turn around and go receiver again, this is my favorite receiver in the draft. Everyone was calling Tet McMillan the next Drake London. If you watch Steve Smith's breakdowns, I couldn't agree with him more. He's calling Jaden Higgins the Drake London of the draft. I agree. Um, saw him at slot, saw him at X, Z. Just kept getting the ball. He had definitely had worse quarterback play than Tet McMillan, and he did not throw a fit on the field, visually at least, that I saw from Tet McMillan. So I really like Jaden Higgins, and if you're a Bills fan like Seamus, I would be jumping out of my chair at this one.
Yeah, I would love this right here. I would absolutely love this. Um, we did just get Josh Palmer, the Bills did, and you still have Keon and Khalil, but I think the way our offense has been operating under Joe Brady, like there's no hurt in getting another weapon for Josh, and I like Jaden Higgins. I think he's going to be a potential monster in the league.
Yeah.
And right here with the Chiefs, we have another O lineman going, which I think could be on brand. It would be guard Tate Ratledge out of Georgia. I feel like Andy Reid, what was it, 2 years ago, kind of rebuilt the O line in one off season when he went and got Tooney and he had Juwan Taylor and a lot of those guys. But this is another year where they need that really bad, especially at left tackle. And in the first, I believe we have them getting Josh Simmons. Yeah, we do. And I think if they got Simmons and then Ratledge, they would be right back to being completely fine on the O line and probably being one of the better ones in the league.
Yeah, and I bet they just keep going after this. I mean, I'm sure they'll stop at D line or something, but I bet they get 2 or 3 more guys undrafted or drafted.
For sure.
At 64 to conclude the draft, our mock 1.0 with trades.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the fucking show. We're gonna go Jaden Blue, speedy back out of Texas. I know you have Saquon, but they have. I don't know if anyone noticed this, man. Every time I watched the Eagles game, they had Saquon checking out once they got into the red zone.
Yeah.
Every single time. I was like,
and Kenneth Gainwell is also not there anymore. So if they could get kind of that, I think they signed, I believe, AJ Dillon, but that's kind of that's a pounder. Obviously, you want a guy like Jaden Blue. If he can become I'm pretty sure he's already a pretty good receiving back. If he can keep developing that, I think he could be an absolute weapon for the Eagles. And at the end of the day, the Eagles can afford to take a running back that high or a player like that because they're so loaded. They don't really have many holes or anything.
Yeah, and if the push tush gets banned, then there's AJ Dillon.
Yeah, right insane.
Thank you guys if you stuck around again for the back end of this draft. We appreciate it. Again, we know we're working through some tech. I know you're just staring at oops. That play isn't our playbook, but my mic, our lighting, whatever you want to say, we're working on it, man. We appreciate it. We already got the third video coming out. We're working on it already. I think you guys will like it.
Yep, third video will be out in a couple of days probably. We're just coming up with new ideas. Keep figuring it out, but damn, we got 64 picks in right here. We might drop another one the day before the draft or something, but we'll figure that out. But thank y'all for watching if you made it this far.